Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. Samantha, our producer's here. Hello, Sam.
Hey.
So what should we plug?
Let's do the YouTube channel. You can watch us live every Monday through Friday on Twitch and on YouTube. It's super duper easy. We got cameras running in here. And if you don't watch, there's really no need for us to run the cameras. So we'd love for you to watch and check it out. And it's always live, but it always replays immediately following. We tidy it up, edit it, put all the show notes in there. And you can watch that on YouTube at Tom and Dan Live or on Twitch, Tom and Dan Live.
We also we have a new sponsor. The Orlando History Center is right downtown.
Yeah, man.
We're super happy to be partnered with.
We get the most prestigious, awesome, and like smart, cool sponsors. We work with Orlando History Center, Orange County Library Center.
Yeah.
Who else have we getting? We got the
Orlando
County
Science Center.
History.
Science. We got the
We love
Science
centers.
Center. We're the center.
We're the center of centers.
You want to advertise your center? We got
Community center.
we do all centers.
And don't come to me with some sides. No, we don't do sides. Centers only.
It's our new website.
Anyway, so we've got local comedian Vince Taylor on the show. How you doing, Vince?
I'm good. What's up?
Good to see you, good
coworker.
man.
What's happening?
Yeah. Well, I was about to say
You're going to talk about the fallout from that? Was positive, positive, good.
Well,
No,
a lot
good
of people
stuff.
don't know Vince is my first black friend.
Hey, and it's on record. That's H-E-A-U-X. Not the
We worked together in Champs.
And you had completely forgot that you did. So that says something about
And
you.
his first black enemy was Antonio, who his wife dated.
No.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah, he was
Dang.
Dominican.
He was Dominican, okay. Yeah, I know black. I Dominican. I already know how y'all get down.
So anyway,
Hey, I didn't even get a chance to get that chance. I could have been that guy. I could have been your first enemy, too. We can
That's
still
true.
make that happen.
His wife is
What's her
beautiful.
number? What's her Instagram? No, I'm just kidding.
She'll
You
give
just
it.
If you
bad
look
jokes.
to your left and right, she's on those
Yeah,
pillars.
yeah.
That's
Oh my
her.
God, I can't
Yeah.
miss. Oh, come on now. That's just adorbs.
Yeah, she's
Nah,
beautiful.
in the
You're-
videos
you're
I
perfectly
see,
matched.
I'm filming it in the corner. And for whatever
Tommy Cook.
and I feel the need to show people what I'm doing. So that's on the bottom of the screen.
Come look at that.
Bottom,
It's like,
terrible
why'd
work.
you add that? Anyway,
You could have left the room. You didn't need to
Appreciate it.
stay there with a ball gag in.
Oh, man,
So Vince is also involved in a podcast called the New Blerd Order.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
didn't mess that up. That's what it's called.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Blerd.
yeah.
And so
way to treat your black friend.
explain to us what Blerd is.
Oh, Blerd. All right. Well, Blerd, unfortunately, is the way my vision is this morning after a crazy night last night. Still 4th of July celebrations going on.
What'd you do, lad? You
Yeah.
set up some fireworks?
I don't. You know, I'm probably never gonna be invited back here, but we don't really do July 4th as much. You know what I'm saying? In the household, we're more of a Juneteenth. We respect
Okay,
it. We
Juneteenth.
respect
Yeah,
it. It's
gotcha.
all to the good. But in our house, it's more. It's not like 4th of July. It's more like freak your dog out with fireworks day.
Yeah. You don't go out on the street like trash.
Yeah.
And then blow trash in
Just
the
blow
air.
stuff up. However,
Yeah,
my
make it-
neighbors, shout out to Popka, everybody out there in that area.
APK.
APK, we get it down. It is a plethora of skin tones that you'll see over there in the Popka Amphitheater. But to go back to that original question, what is a blerd? All right, so we all know what a nerd is. And we know what black people are. I think we know what they are for the most part. I mean, I take that pride in being Tommy's first.
I was about to say, I do know from a lot. Me and Vince had a lot of conversations in the chat in the stock room.
You tell me all the time that you are 99%. You've got it figured out.
Would I talk to you a lot? A lot of people around me
Was he
say that I
quiet?
never stop talking.
Yeah, was he quiet or was he
Nah,
talking?
he was reserved. Like Tommy was zen. He was the dude abides when I knew him back then. Like he just was too cool for school. Like he's one of those folks where it's like you look at him, you're like, can I talk to this dude?
Yeah,
You know
what's
what I'm
going on
saying?
in that brain?
Yeah, what's happening here? You know what I'm saying? And I just figured he would talk to me because he was hella cool, and he did. You know what I mean? But I mean, he didn't have a lot of
turn
words.
on the morning show with all the racist jokes. Get you fired up in the morning.
Back to Blerd.
It's the Blerd, yes sir.
So it is a black nerd.
It's basically
Okay.
a black.
You know,
well,
I've
yeah, it's
never
a
heard that before.
I've heard black nerd. The term blerd came before this little podcast thing came out. It's a little thing. It's an introspection type thing where it's like, all right, nerds collaborate over the struggles of not being able to outwardly, talk about the things that they love without being
It used to
shunned.
be a thing.
It used to be like that.
Sure.
It's not as much anymore since, Tommy and Dan have accepted us into the mainstream.
Well, I mean, but most nerds, I mean, that's like such a big thing now. I can remember back in school, there used to be like a dots matrix banner on the top of this class I was in, and it said, "The nerds of today will have the Lamborghinis of tomorrow."
Yes.
And I remember like burning that into my brain and thinking there is like, even though we'd make fun of that, we'd be like, "Oh, I've never seen a nerd with a Lamborghini," but if you look at it now, it's pretty accurate.
And
every nerd, you look at Mr. Beast, right? That guy's pretty damn nerd.
Yeah.
I can say that is 100% true for me. If you make the Lamborghini a Ford Escort,
exactly. Yeah, for me it was an '82 Rabbit, like with a bad alternator.
Although it's not because of their passion for Marvel movies. It's because they're really good at business.
Right.
That's what got them the money.
Yeah, we morphed that
It's
word,
the money.
right? We morphed that word into sort of a good thing and weaponized it.
Well, I think let me explain this to your listeners.
Please.
I think that when it comes to like the difference in a blerd and a nerd is that it comes with multiple struggles, so to speak. One of them is the nerd. Obviously, you're the one that gets picked up, thrown against the lockers normally. But the black part of it comes in from like not being expected to be into this type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's like
the stereotype.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, yo, hold up, you like Naruto, but I thought you was black. People like actually have come to me and said these type of things, and then like start to like take away my
I
blackness.
thought you only like sports.
Right. You say, well, hold on, shut up and dribble. It's like, but nah, bro. I dig the Sith. Don't forget, don't take away, Samuel L. Jackson and him being Nick Fury and Mace Windu and all that.
Recently,
we exist, So it's just kind of the acceptance of those two cultures and putting them together and just kind of
Spawn was a big one for
Spawn
me
is huge.
when, as a young man growing up, not really seeing. Now I'm a regular old boring white guy, right? White privilege is there, okay? Just don't worry about that, but worry about this.
Gotcha.
I'm reading, and then you notice there are no comics with like black characters, and then you realize somewhere along, like you start digging into the story of Spawn, and you realize that the main character is a black guy who's in the military, he's a beautiful wife, he's selling his soul to the devil, the whole thing. And then you're like,
nerd.
who decided, why hadn't this been a thing? Who was your first, and maybe you don't have one, but who was the first character that you might have looked at that got your eagle claws in it, and you're like, oh, this is me. I can relate to this.
Thanks for the question, Blerd. I'm gonna go ahead and give you the honorary.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
So
fine.
make sure you tell the police next time you get
Spawn
pulled
was one
over.
of my favorites, and I remember they didn't make a big deal about him being black.
Right.
You kind of knew because stereotypically you'd look at his family, his wife and daughter, and you would see in flashbacks you'd see them, but you didn't necessarily go, well, Spawn's black until you would see a flashback of him in the military, and you'd be like, oh. They did. I thought they handled it pretty good.
I thought it was phenomenal with it. Shout out to Todd McFarlane, who was the creator of Spawn, who left doing Spider-Man comics with Marvel to start up with Spawn. Shout out to Michael Jai White, who played Spawn, who's also in the talks of possibly playing some more characters coming up. And shout out to Jamie Foxx. Hopefully he gets he recovers, because he was tagged to play the upcoming Spawn, upcoming movie. But for me, it was Spider-Man, homeboy. And why you like, well, hold on, that's a white boy. Well, yes. I mean, I'm not, listen, first of all, I want to make sure that the spell is not like black means only black people can be a part of our, like, listen, we have everybody watching, listening, and commenting on our content, but at the same time, it's just centered around the fact that that's what we are. It doesn't mean that that's what you have to be. That's just what we are. We happen to be black and we have to be nerdy. But yeah, man, like for me, it was Spider-Man was like the first hood comic. You got to think about it.
He had a mouth.
Well, hold on. Like Spider-Man,
you got a mouth. That makes sense.
I think you got one. We got mouths. We all got mouths. But like, it's like Spider-Man wasn't some dude who was thrown out here who had all these superpowers, and he isn't this rich billionaire who owns Wayne Enterprises. He's a kid from Queens. You know what I'm saying? A kid from Queens who don't know his daddy, don't know his mama. He ain't got money like that. Probably had food stamps. Probably still collecting. And he has to like basically hide himself as a man. He's a regular dude, Peter Parker, and then he turns into a Spider-Man after he gets bitten. Like that's the thing people don't really put together. You know what I'm saying? Now I love it also as well. Now we also like to think about what we would do if we were Spider-Man. You know what I'm saying? Like I got a homeboy who's like, man, they can't have a black Spider-Man because we went out of red fluid. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna be like, man, come on, man, put some money on my webs, man. You know what I'm saying? But I like to think of that as my first potential, love. You know what I mean? And I got them tatted on my back too. You know what I'm saying?
No way.
In a perfect tramp way.
I would always wait. Go ahead.
I was gonna say when Vince explains it to me, it's
get excited
way
about
better.
it.
we normally have a big fat white guy
fired
do
me
it.
up.
It's so boring.
You actually almost got me.
your passion.
I'm
Your
like, man,
passion.
I'm gonna go
gets
watch
me
me
in.
some
I was like,
Spider-Man now.
well, let's talk. Okay, so here's and I constantly, me and Daniel bitch about the multiverse, and let's talk about Spider-Man because we went and saw, and by we, me and my
I haven't
sons,
seen the new one. I've only seen
all right, I'm leaving.
the
I'm out.
first one.
I haven't seen the new one either.
But
Which
the
by the
first
way, I
one
ain't
is a freaking. It is one of the most creative, crazy things I've seen.
Yeah. My sons loved it, and it was good. We like
that must have blown you away.
Well,
man.
It blew me.
Yeah.
And,
yeah.
So, but I ruined the experience because we watched it in the damn the chairs that shake you around to the 4D. Don't watch it.
I'm gonna go see the Barbie movie in 4D.
It's not made for it. Anyway.
Hey, 4D sounds about right. And if they're vibrating, it always
Sam
makes
just
it
gave
better.
the link to all the perverts going to go watch the Barbie movie in the 4D.
But with the unlimited Spider-Man, I feel like it does kind of cheat it a little bit because now you're saying, well, it could be a trillion different Spider-Man.
I did like the way they handled it because it was so creative.
You have to do it that way to explain like why there's a different Spider-Man while Miles Morales is now a Spider-Man, and like how is that possible? And there's only really that way to write it in. But with the multiverse, now you're just saying, well, now anything's possible. Like there's a universe,
right.
And
I kind of like when they have so many limitations that they have to be hyper. Creative to pull it off.
Yeah, well, I mean, the cool thing about this is like they all Spider-Man, but you got to keep in mind like they all the only Spider-Man in the universe. So it's not like you go to another Earth and then there's a whole bunch of Spider-Man. The Spider-Man you meet and across the Spider-Verse are the one in that universe, and it happened because of those events. You know what I'm saying? Like this could be my canon event right now. Like me coming to see Tom and Dan talking with y'all. Let me mess around and something bad happen. Let somebody say the wrong comment, and next thing you know, I gotta like change up my life, switch up everything, like change my family, go out here and just.
He's doing a really good job of pulling me in, and I'm the guy. I'm the guy that hates this stuff, and as he explains it, I'm like,
yeah, I mean, because that's basically what happens. Like, and in this movie, what we learn is like the whole essence of Spider-Man is that I'm talking about Spider-Man like I am. Like we are Spider-Man, right? You know what I'm saying? So it's like we have to deal with some sort of tragedy that makes us realize, oh snap, like the world is bigger than what just happens with me, and now I have to use my power to do things for the greater good. Now I know neither one of y'all probably have ever had to do anything like that. You know what I'm saying?
No
like
good.
actually do
Only
something
bad.
responsible with the power.
I'm more of like a short, fat Doc Ock.
And I will barely be remembered for anything.
Yeah, that's true. He's forgettable, man, and I'm Doc Crocs.
They're like some two white guys named Tom and Dan created a huge amount of internet trash, and they just loaded it.
Can you write that
10,000
down?
hours.
The mediocre verse.
Hold
I
on a
love
second.
it.
You may, now that everybody's like podcast is kind of effed out, the whole idea of it, we should start calling this and rebrand it just internet trash.
Hey.
It's free internet trash.
10,000 hours of video of internet trash.
What do you need?
So
I'm
Vince,
proud to call myself a part of this trash.
Yeah, man. We appreciate you being here.
So I'm curious when you do a podcast that's I guess I'm trying to label, kind of like Dan Cummins. He focuses on
conspiracy theories
and weird things,
phenomena,
and like murder podcasts and every like themed shows. And you theme your podcast Blerd, and then you talk about like nerdy stuff that's like pop culture. But I was going through your TikTok and Instagram. Which, by the way, you got a huge Instagram following. I'm like,
wow.
Vince got on like 90,000 followers.
And he said it like that. He yelled it.
Way more than us.
He's like, Vince got
I'm like, we need to benefit off this somehow.
And then the worst part of him yelling, Vince got 90K, is he undid his overalls and did a dance.
With all this, I'm with that, man. I want to see it.
So, like, you did a show about like the best 90s theme song, the intro for 90s cartoons.
For
Disney
cartoons,
Disney cartoons. And so
which is DuckTales, by the way, in case anybody
it's
just to set the record straight.
Goof Troop, DuckTales, there was Rescue Rangers,
come on now.
Darkwing Duck, Gummy Bears.
When there's trouble, you call D-Duck. Come on now, you can't tell me the Disney writers was all hip-hop heads, bro. All of them songs back in the day used to like, Dan, I know if we go through your camcorder, we're going to find you dancing on a cardboard to some Gummy Bear song.
I'm a little older. You hit it, Gummy Bears. The Gummy Bears bouncing anywhere,
which sounds like, it sounds like Gummy Berry juice really sound like lean or like, Molly inspired.
Well, it would pump you up and make you fight, right? Whenever they had to throw down, they would do the Gummy Berry juice or whatever, and they would like throw down.
Yeah, absolutely.
By the way, we're podcastmen seeing you right now because this is exactly your conversation that I enjoyed on your podcast, and now we're doing it the same thing because
I love it.
So then that got me thinking where someone that's 19 years old,
right,
may not relate to it and have the same feeling because I'm watching this like the nostalgia of it. Like these are all cartoons I grew up in.
Right.
I'm 41 years old.
I'm the oldest here, but many would say the most immature. So I still count.
But
I'll take that.
There's a lot of content that's specifically tailored to middle-aged people that grew up with a lot of the same stuff. And how much does nostalgia play into nerd content?
I love it. That's a great conversation. First of all, I didn't know you was 41. I just gotta say, like, Tom don't crack.
Yeah, it looks good, right?
I don't know.
It's cracked.
He's a black friend. I'm glad
it's red.
It was cracking yesterday.
I'm glad that I gave you that gene. You look good for your age. He cute. Like Tommy's a sexy guy.
It's starting to go downhill though. It's face is old.
Cracked, but it's inflamed.
I was like, alcohol is finally taking.
You're rotten on the inside.
I have a sunburn inside of me.
I don't think. First of all, I do think that there are some subjects, and we do live in a state of nostalgia where we get to talk about what we call the good old days and the first Luke, the first Star Wars is when Star Trek was in black and white. I mean, even though I wasn't even around during that time, but I saw it on Nick at Night. But it's still it's not what we always talk about. I think what you called, Tommy, was a reel. Like, we put out a lot of reels, just like y'all put out reels. Y'all got some dope reels. All right,
and, you can say dope ass reels.
Okay, cool.
That makes them sound cooler to the young people.
Like fishing reels.
I
don't know what you're talking about.
He's got some dope
other Melissa does all that. I see it every once in a while. I'm like, oh, we're on TikTok.
But here's the funny thing.
This is like the grandpa whose grandson made a Twitter for their tire company, and then he just found out about it.
What is this Twitter?
What is this?
But in all honesty, I think that there's a huge crossover with regard to like nerd culture because I can talk about like some of those things, but the overwhelming majority of the stuff we talk about is based on like right now we talking about Secret Invasion, which is on Disney, which is Nick Fury's show where he's basically dealing with the Skrulls and all that other stuff. We're talking about obviously Across the Spider-Verse. And every now and then we're gonna be like, remember back when you used to play Donkey Kong in the arcade? You know what I'm saying? Or like, remember we used to ride all the way down 1792 to the Fun Machine and play Mortal Kombat for 8 hours. Yeah, that happens every now and then. You know what I'm saying? But the overwhelming majority of it is just general pop culture where we could talk about the, whatever it is.
And shout out to Elevate because we don't mention this, but they have a retro gaming. They have a bunch of retro games that are around the mini golf.
Oh yeah.
And that's what I was doing.
Arcade.
Yeah, they've got like.
Are you a Gallagher type of guy?
They're free.
I was gonna say, didn't I read they were free?
And you can go over there and just start.
I couldn't do that with you, homeboy. Because you the type of dude that you keep playing and you don't let nobody else play. Like you got to get the high score.
No, I definitely when I was a kid, I was the best kid at the arcade because I didn't need to play. I could stand there and give you. I'd be the hype man, moral support. You're trying to beat something on Pac-Man.
Oh yeah.
I'll just give you hype. I'm there to positive. Give you some love.
By the way, with that, you know how mad I got at my sons when I saw a free Mortal Kombat stand-up arcade that my sons weren't interested in at all. Walk right past it, and I'm like, it's free.
They had digital mini golf.
I had to ride my bicycle
no idea.
to 7-Eleven where pedophiles and bums were.
Wow.
And put in a quarter.
That's our dumb old man button.
And you know what I had to do to get those?
They would kick us out.
They won't give you change?
There was a 7-Eleven right there on Woodland in DeLand, and they'd kick us out because we'd go in there, and mine was not Mortal Kombat, a little bit older. Mine was the video game, and maybe in some ways worse than Mortal Kombat, Narc.
No, Narc, with the helmet, with the dude walking around just shooting people.
Yeah, and you were a DEA agent, and you would bust these, and it was cell animation, and the little bad guys looked really good because they were cell animated.
Yeah.
So they were really highly detailed. They would throw hypodermic needles of heroin at you, and you'd be shooting them, and then these whores would be walking the streets, and they're throwing bags of cocaine at you,
see,
and they're throwing weed at you and stabbing you with hypodermics, and you're shooting, you're driving in a Corvette.
I gotta say,
oh my God, it was the best.
The nuance. I'm just learning all of this. I played that game, and I did not know that they was throwing all of that illegitimate, illegal.
Oh, the Narc. The best guy in Narc was this like rat-haired.
Were you
old
the Narc?
Man. No, you're the
You make him
DEA
sound like
agent.
Dog the Bounty Hunter.
He looked like Dog the Bounty Hunter. He was all black leather, and he had long purple, like gold hair. Like he had like blonde hair, but like purple accents, and then he would throw purple hypodermic heroin needles at you, and then you were like, oh God, and you have to shoot them out of your Corvette.
But Dan does this weird thing where he's like, yeah, but I'm a little older, so I'm assuming it was like only a penny per play.
No, they would kick us out because you go to get your change, and that's when. They don't want you doing
Did you go up there with change? Like, how much change you went up there with?
Well, I'd go with a $10 bill or $5, and I'd be like, I need all quarters. We're rolling.
Oh, he's going to spend all
We're going to play.
money.
And then I'd have to get a chair, and they didn't like that.
The chair at the store will freak him out.
I had to stand
now,
on
I
a chair.
was the guy at the Fun Machine on 1792. I went to Lyman High School, and I used to ride down 1792 before it turned into service merchandise into the Fun Machine. I'd play Mortal Kombat. I spent my entire Christmas fund money over, like, it's $40, which was a lot of money when you were like 13. You know what I'm saying? Just so I could learn how I could rip somebody's skull out of their head or set it on fire right quick. And these are skills that you can't go back and tell your mama that you just acquired. You know what I'm saying? It's just the way it was.
And here's another old man thing. We're $40, like gas. When I moved to Orlando, used to be 99 cents.
Wow, you moved here in the 50s. Save the clock tower.
Year 2000.
I found the guy for you. See him in the purple?
Oh, that's him.
His name was Crack. K-R-A-K. Look at that hypodermic needle he's got. His name was Crack.
Wow.
Look at that guy. And then look at this guy down here. Look at this guy he's holding the joint, and he's holding a bag of, I think fentanyl.
Okay. Fentanyl.
Look at that guy with the pills. And see, there's your...
He looks like a Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
Look at that. Look how scary that is for a kid.
Nah, bro. I don't know. He looks like Max Headroom coupled with Ivan Drago from Rocky IV.
But that's what he is, man. That was the guy, that purple Crack guy.
Come on through, Crack. Boy, that was ahead of their time, wasn't it? Knew about the fentanyl.
Here's the game. Look at this. Here's an ad for old Narc video game.
Narc. Who was it in the studio that was like, you know what? I don't know about these games where they're like bouncing on Koopa's heads and like, tearing stuff out of people's throats. Let's make a game where drug dealers and drug people that take over them, they get to actually win in the streets. Kids will love it.
I got photos of it.
Who's the Narc here?
No, you're not a narc. You're a narcotics agent, and they just called it Narc.
Oh, okay. So it has nothing to do with you actually narking on someone.
No, see, here you are. Okay, look. See, you're outside the video void. You're outside a porno store shooting people.
Outside of the Four Seasons.
And then there's a to the side there's like a jewelry store called Hole in One.
Hole in One. Oh,
it's a racist jewelry store.
This is on Curry Ford somewhere, if I'm not mistaken. Right there.
By the way, this is before parents got outraged about what their kids were playing.
Oh no, this is right at the height of that. I'm sure.
Yeah, this was the height. I think you're right.
But it's in an arcade. It's not in somebody's house.
If someone told your father, like, Dan Lee is playing
my mom,
maybe your mom, but your dad would be like, why are you telling me this? I don't care what his kids play.
My dad didn't understand video games. He'd been like, you're shooting a heroin? No, he's like, no, Dad, I'm shooting at the guys with the heroin. He's like,
I don't know.
I
want to know which one of Dan's peoples would have been mad that he was the narc.
So, Vince, I want to ask you about, current shows. So you mentioned what was that one show?
There's one out right now that's called The Secret Invasion. That's
It's
with,
on Disney Plus.
It's on Disney Plus. It's a weekly. It's what they call appointment TV. Comes on. I just was watching it right before I came. It's with Samuel L. Jackson, who we consider the original. Even though Nick Fury wasn't originally black. They made him black so that Samuel L. Jackson could play his role, and that's been happening a lot lately. You know what I'm saying? But that's on right now, which is pretty cool because it leads into the MCU. But they say the MCU is dying. They say it's not doing. They got a new Superman out. Did y'all know that?
No.
Y'all know who Henry Cavill is?
Yeah.
Y'all heard of
he's
Henry Cavill?
Witcher, right?
He is the
Not
Witcher.
anymore, he's
Hey,
not.
Well,
10 points.
Yeah.
He's not anymore.
Not
Okay,
anymore.
fuck.
You know what really sucks is that they're saying, so he was Witcher, and Sam and I are invested in Witcher, and so is my wife.
I don't think I'll continue.
I don't think I will either because they're
why
saying
not?
this season, they said he did a great job. They said, oh my God, this is the best season he's ever done. And, and he's gone now. And I'm like, I don't even want to commit now.
Yeah.
Why'd he leave?
Well, okay.
Commitment.
Contracts,
I'm glad you asked,
Yeah.
Thomas.
Oh, yeah, we could ask our guest.
so-
I'm doing the you again. I'll tell you, Tom.
From what's been reported, first of all, I don't know, he is a real nerd. So he reads the books. He puts together
He
computers.
builds his own
He builds
computers,
computers,
yeah.
right? You know what I'm saying? So he plays the video games. He's not just an actor. So this is his way of protesting. He's like, hold on. So you all aren't using the source material? I quit. You know what I'm saying? Like he had actually protested.
He quit because of the Polish books?
No, not because of the books, because they weren't necessarily directing the show in a manner that was giving
Like the
respect
books, yeah.
to the books. Yes, of course. I'm sorry. That's right. So
I want to start reading those, but I've heard they're pretty hard to dig through.
it's anything that involves elves and different types of species in a fantasy realm
Yeah.
is gonna involve a certain amount of ability
Takes
to
you a little time.
But I will say this: he started off this whole notion. Every time he leaves a project, you get like a really, really bootleg version of him in his place. You know what I'm saying? Like right now, Helmsworth's brother is set to play the
not
next
even the good
Witcher.
Helmsworth.
Yeah. Not the good Helmsworth.
He's the one that got
but
the video made about him by Miley Cyrus.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
What was that
he's the-
video?
Flowers?
Yeah, it's
Where
all
she
on-
basically put all these Easter eggs in about how he cheated on her the
Yeah.
whole time they were married.
The whole video is like she hid little secret digs.
Oh, she tore him up good.
I
pretty
came in
good.
like a
Thank
wrecking
you.
ball.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
Helmsworth.
that's
Oh,
what he
that's
does.
different.
Yeah.
And so now,
And they're saying this third season, everybody I've heard that is a reviewer, which, look, they're going to be tough on it, is like, oh, it's the best it's ever been. It's better, best Witcher season ever. And I'm like, don't tell me that when the guy's leaving. I don't want to do it now.
No, I think you should give it another shot. Number one, for those, I don't think this is a spoiler, but I think this is more to protect you. It comes in a couple different chapters, so if you're hoping to binge it all the way through, that's not going to happen. Netflix actually put out first 5 episodes. They're going to put out 5 more in August, and then they may put 5 out more after that. But he wasn't ousted. This is where it gets real ugly. Like it's real Real Housewives of DC, if you will, because he got kicked out of DC inadvertently for doing the role with Rock at the end of his Black Adam movie, and so now they moved on and hired a different Superman. Which, if you Google this guy, David Corenswet, like he literally looks like great value Henry Cavill. Like
I like his name, too. I'm David Cornsey.
That's a terrible name.
Hello, I'm Corenswet, and let's not forget, like Henry Cavill's British as well, so he don't sound like he does when he plays Superman. But
Yeah,
he
got
literally
that
looks.
you got that good Witcher butt chin. The dimple in
Witcher
it.
butt
That's what I
chin.
like my Witchers to have a butt chin, so they
Strong
look.
chin.
Not my Superman. I like the original paralyzed
I like
Superman.
a big.
Oh my God.
I like before that. I like a good 1940s barrel chest the way a man's body should be made.
That's right. Yeah. See.
With these lean V's, I like a barrel-chested. I like for him to look like a strong man. Noodle arms and a big fat tummy.
Girdle and all, like bring it on.
Yeah,
Come on.
put the Spanx on him.
I like my George. If it ain't in black and white, it ain't real.
Who
That's how I
was
say
that?
it.
The old Superman.
George. It wasn't Dean.
You're
Cain, it was
on it.
George. What's his name?
Yeah,
George.
you're on it.
I always forget the first one's name.
So, okay, back to the Nick Fury show.
Always.
So this is just about Nick Fury's, like his existence and what he does. Because I'm
Nah,
not even
that's not what
exactly
it is.
sure what Nick Fury. I
Okay.
know he's like the head of the agency that
Shield.
He's like a military
Strategic
go-between
homeland.
between the superheroes and the normos.
Yeah, think of him as like a good, like he's like the middleman for universal well-being as far as the universe is going. And
you think of him as like he's like me buying you the kratom at the kratom shop. Yeah, the go-between.
But it also seems like he has superpowers too, because I've watched him.
His superpower is his blackness, honestly, because like he's so stern with everything that he does, and the fact that he doesn't get questioned by anybody, no matter how big a person. Like you got to remember, this dude is keeping in check the likes of Hulk, Iron Man, Spiderman in some instances, Thor, who's a god, not even from this earth, and they all respect Nick Fury,
Is
who's
he
basically
like
a dude.
Professor X of X-Men? I don't know.
Well,
I'm
to
not
an
a
extent,
nerd.
he just-
I'm
I
trying to
think
make sense
you're
of
trying.
it.
I like that, Sam.
Professor X though can
Well
kill
done.
you with his mind.
Sure,
If you
but he
he
kept
did.
everybody in line, right?
Professor X couldn't kill me with his mind. I'll unplug his wheelchair. I'm like, come at me, use your mind now. You ain't got no telica nothing.
Oh
So,
man,
but the
that's
show's not about his life. What it's about.
I mean, I don't know how much we want to spoil. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I
we
don't want to
spoil here.
spoil
We
it
don't spoil.
all.
It's
But
the first one. Don't spoil
you
it.
do learn things about his life that we didn't know about him before. But it's not just about Nick Fury, which I would watch a Nick Fury show. I like Nick Fury. It sounds funnier when you say Fury. I would watch that. But this is more about there's a race of beings called the Skrulls, who in the comic book universe we was introduced to a long time ago. But these are basically aliens that can shapeshift into anybody. Like I don't know, like in the world of the Skrulls and Secret Invasion, I could have just pulled up on 3 Skrulls, and right now y'all is posing as Tom and Dan.
We could be Skrulls,
and y'all might not be who y'all say y'all is. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't know.
That's
Tommy
terrifying.
do look a little young for himself.
Yeah.
It's really easy to question whether he's actually really Tommy or some
And
green
the
dude
real
with
me
pointy
is a
ears.
really better looking Skrull. This is just my Skrull form. Yeah.
Like he's like this what I'm gonna choose. I'm gonna choose this version of
I'm
myself.
throwing you
His
off.
scroll is tall.
I'm a tall scroll. But in
How big
this
is your
world,
scroll?
in this world, I'm a minuscule.
He's a middle scroll. Okay,
Minuscule,
all right.
minuscule.
I trust your scroll. It's just as, all right. You know what? Let me stop right there.
Stupid, yeah. We'll continue.
But so this is more. It's called Secret Invasion because the Skrulls they infiltrate. I don't want to say they infiltrated. They came to Earth after they lost their planet, right?
That always happens.
That for some reason,
Don't-
like Krypton, the strongest.
We don't have a
people.
lot of resources. Have you seen what we've been doing here? There are other better places to go.
All right, well,
That's why I like that meme of Captain Planet where he looks all redneck and he's like, y'all done effed me up good.
I love it, yo. But I mean, ultimately, this is less. It's starring Nick Fury, but it's not like a Nick Fury show where it's like a Nick Fury origin story. It's really just showing how I think in the upcoming, because this is Phase 5 now in the Marvel universe, how it's a war that's being fought that we don't even know how to fight because the people we're fighting against look exactly like us. Because the Skrulls
and it's not going to be
turn
fought with your
themselves.
fists. It's going to be fought with the manipulation of being a Skrull, infiltrating, and changing things behind the scenes, mother effer.
Whoa, and there you go. I couldn't have said it any better,
Saying,
man.
if you can get in there,
So Vince,
this is going to freak people out too because that's what people think's happening right now in the world.
do,
Right?
like lizard men
people,
are real.
Or they think people are double agents and operatives
Yes,
getting in there
yes.
just to monkey things up. Oh, this is going
The
to be.
Skrulls are the deep state, by
All
all
right, I
means,
see
man.
it,
It
I
is
see it.
it is the whole thing.
So Vince, I need to ask you advice because
I'm here for you. I'm your black friend.
the other guy, the other guy that talks
He
nerd
forgot that.
news.
Wait, I have a black friend.
Who?
I asked him advice. He gives me horrible advice.
He's in there. He's in there.
Yeah.
He's
Hope you're
in there.
listening,
Oh, man.
other guy.
Yeah,
What
he
kind of
already-
advice do you ask from EJ?
Well, because
Hey.
he's the nerdiest friend that I know. So
Aw.
I asked him about how to consume Marvel movies because
Okay.
I wanted to watch them with my sons, and we started watching them in chronological order. And so
Vince is already passing
we went.
judgment on that.
So now I'll tell you where we're at right now.
Okay.
We're at, we just finished the Endgame, right? So we just finished Endgame. And now, though, I'm running into a problem where they're now, they're pumping out Marvel movies like crazy. And now they're pumping out some that happened before Endgame. So then I'm like, well, wait a minute, because me and my
you can
sons
avoid some of those, maybe.
are bonding together. No, but we have to watch them all if we're going to
No, that's
consume.
Pokemon. That's Pokemon. You got them all mixed up.
So then I was like, well, maybe I should
catch 'em
have
up.
started in just when their release date. was. Like instead of chronological order, like we started with freaking the original Captain America back.
We started with freaking Captain America.
Like 1940s. It's like when it happened Christian
This
time
sounds
or
so
whatever.
painful.
Are you afraid that this is going to be a bit confusing for your boys, and you just want to do it the right way?
Do they understand timelines or anything?
Like is there a whole?
How invested are they? Because I wouldn't.
All it
Yeah,
sounds
that's-
like right now you need to do is just think a little bit.
I hate
a little bit of brain power.
I need to be
He's
told.
like, wait a minute, so this happened and then this happened before that? Like, how do I cope? How do I cope? You had never seen Back to the Future, have you? Because you were like,
never
wait
told
a
you no,
minute,
like
this
that.
happened in 1955? What about 1985? Where's that? It's like, come on, bro.
Well,
Like, use that noggin.
Do I go to the next chronological order, or do I go back and if they release?
Oh, you mean do it in time? Okay,
I
so
see
like
what he's-
if
I see
he
what you're
watches
like
Endgame,
the new Guardian of the Galaxy, right?
You're asking,
Guardians.
should you watch them in order of release or in order of the timeline that
When
they
they
have
Yeah,
in
yeah.
itself? First of all, terrible parent, all right, terrible father.
wow.
Kids should have been seeing these
Well, I
movies.
didn't even know
He's
that. I
saying
already
you're
knew
late.
that.
He's saying you're late on these
I will relinquish
Tell me
that.
something
All
I
right.
need to know.
Look, drop your kids off to my crib.
These
They
are
will come
not
back and
blurs.
Marvel-
These are little white dolls.
They will come back blurs. We'll spend a day in Cocoa Beach. You won't be able to recognize them. Now, I'm just saying, but yeah, they should have been seeing these movies right now. If you the reason that these kids ain't seeing these movies, you are messing up their lives, homeboy. Like, how are they going to make it in society without knowing all of the content
you're
that's
behind
in each
now.
one of these movies?
Well, Tom
Like, there
said his children couldn't actually sit and watch a movie up until a year ago.
Oh,
Right?
Maisie's never
That's
been to a
bad
movie.
parenting.
Maisie's, my daughter's never been to a movie.
Yeah,
Whoa!
He's
Man,
never
hold
seen.
up, bro.
His daughter's
These
never
are
seen a
qualifiers.
movie.
She's never been to a movie
Okay,
theater.
which Church of Latter-day Saints do you belong to, homeboy? Because like
She don't
that's
care about
abuse.
All she does
She
is
doesn't-
work.
Bro, I could not
I
live.
love that.
She
mother.
every day she's at the dance studio. I'm like, hey, you want to watch a
Okay,
movie
all right.
with Daddy?
Okay,
She's
well,
like, I have stuff to do. You bitch.
Get to work.
She
I
said
can't
it,
just
not
sit
me.
around and watch movies all day. I got dance
Yeah.
for 8 hours and school
She's
for
like,
8
I
hours.
told you I don't care
I
who
respect that.
Spider-Man is.
I respect that. If you got more important things to do, then I still disagree with it, but I respect
Yeah,
it.
I do
You
too.
know what I'm saying?
I like what Tom's
Well,
doing,
she's
but
also
she's
young,
not
though.
into it.
I'm 100% for indoctrinating your kids into the theology of Marvel, Star Wars, and
All
Star.
right.
I'm 100% for it. In fact, I'm against it if you don't.
They're also young,
Man,
like
you are
8 and 9.
hardcore. I like
I
it.
am.
My sons are 8 and 9, and I feel like a lot of these things are PG-13, so they
A
they
little
you
bit
know
spicy.
so I you're supposed to start around 13, I think, but I start
No,
early.
sir.
But like, what do you do? The Guardians of the Galaxy 3 is out,
I've
and
heard
that
there's
is
some scenes in that.
that's
They're rough.
pre
Really?
Like
end game.
Animal scenes.
Oh
and-
yeah. I mean, it's not too bad.
It's a CGI raccoon.
Here's what I would ask. Here's what I would ask. Does the raccoon get revenge? Because if there's revenge,
Do you want
then-
the answer?
No, but I just have a
Can't
feeling.
spoil it.
I'm I call it like I
And
smell
he don't like to be
them.
called a raccoon
Right.
at first, you know what I'm saying? Because he's a whole genetic. But I guess the question is, are you doing it wrong? And the answer is yes.
Okay.
You should. I think you should relinquish that response. First of all, this sounds painful to you. Like, it sounds like you're like watching. And
Everything's
the
painful
struggle-
to him.
the
He has no
struggle
joy in
Of
life.
figuring
Man.
out if this is the right
Did
way
you
is
think
taking
your
over.
first black friend would nail you that fast? Did you?
Well, we know each other from
We've known each other over 20 years.
I
The
kind of feel like
days
you
of
do
stock.
naturally. Like there was a little honesty connected there, where he was like, "I think this is painful," and you were like, "Yeah."
But one day we'll be talking about Marvel movies on my
It's
show.
supposed to be fun.
It is. Listen, it's fun for me to hear you and watch you squirm. But my question for you is like, do you want to take them to these movies? Do you want
All
to
at
watch these
home.
movies, or
All
is this
at
the
home,
obligational
mostly at
time?
home, right?
No. It's like, okay. The truth is,
Judgment
we
is
always
happening.
made jokes about like Marvel movies and how they're for kids and stuff.
Yeah.
But like, I enjoy, like, they're well put together,
Word.
good stories that have $1 billion put into them. You know what I'm saying?
Word,
They're
word.
good. Like
Yeah.
this, like all the effects, the stories, the acting.
There's no
it's-
entertainment that cost more.
Yeah, no, exactly.
You
So,
can say that.
I'm
you know?
watching the most expensive entertainment.
most expensive
It's
entertainment.
good, and then I'm watching it with my sons, which
You ain't
makes
been
it
to the
better for
strip
me
clubs I've been to.
because we're bonding together.
Sure.
So it's like all the movies are good. I just like now.
You want to do it right.
I'm trying to figure out, like, do I go back and watch Guardians 3 before I move on any further through the,
Can I ask you something?
Yeah.
A little. Was you popular? I know you've talked about this before. I'm sorry. I'm still catching up on my Tom and Dan
Yeah, okay,
chronologue from
Too
every
much
show.
content.
We have nothing
but
but time.
Do you describe yourself when you talk about like the past as a popular dude in high school?
No, I was not.
All right, what kind of dude was you, man?
I was a
pervert,
shadow.
really.
No,
Was you a
no.
shadow?
It was like, what is a shadow
Tommy,
pervert?
I knew
It's like
that
they call
you-
them shadow perverts.
I
hide in the bushes and look for girls.
I'm not joking. I didn't
He
talk
just
to
flew
anybody.
under the radar.
I flew.
Wow.
No one knew where. Like
Yeah.
I didn't even get invited to my high school reunion because they didn't know I went there.
Oh, wow.
Well, he doesn't go
And
there.
it
I
says
wouldn't
it on my
have guessed
Facebook. I like because Crystal got invited to hers, and I was like, I never got an invite to my 20 year, which
That's
was like
sad, dude.
which was in 2020. I guess the
God,
COVID.
there's love, there's hate, and then there's
Maybe it's
indifference.
'cause of
I never
COVID.
would
Yeah,
have
it
guessed
could've
that
been
because like
COVID.
Tommy gave me like strong, like cool Ashton Kutcher vibes. You know what I'm
Oh
saying?
yeah, you are Orlando's
like,
Ashton Kutcher.
You know what I'm saying?
Don't
Like,
say that.
like
Oh,
Kelso.
my God.
I do
you
like
know?
old ladies.
He does.
So I'm like,
He
when
loves old ladies and punking his friends.
so did you like drive? Did you have like a car in high school and all that? The reason I'm asking is because
On a chopper, at an Orange County chopper.
did you have a chopper?
No, I had a mini truck with bass.
I mean, truck with the bass.
Yeah,
How many
yeah,
12?
yeah.
You 12s, 14s?
No, 2 10s, but they were custom, so you could sit on the boxes.
Yeah, the ladies like to sit on the box.
Bumping
Yeah.
Baby Got Back all the
Yeah.
way to school.
He's
like
a
Sir
Wu-Tang
Mix a
man.
Lot.
He's a Wu-Tang
Yeah, yeah,
man.
Was you Wu-Tang?
Wu-Tang.
Who's your favorite?
Old Dirty Bastard.
Oh, of course. Oh, Dirty Osiris. The reason I'm asking is because if you had
Peanut the
like
Killer.
if you have some sort of like prominence in high school, I believe that takes precedent when you're in high school. Somebody like me was in and out. Like at Lyman, I played football, but I was also in the band. So I had dudes on my football team making fun of me because I was in the band.
Oh, that's twisted.
So it was crazy. Like I was like
That is
talk
a
about
mind
alter
meld.
ego. So this
You're
so
on
like,
the football team being and in band, but being bullied by the same guys you play on the
literally, dog. I was at practice one day, and my homeboy Charlie, I'm gonna call you out. What's up, Charlie? And he says like,
Is he
"Yo,
gonna
Vince,
come
you know
up?
what's funny? They was over there practicing. He's like, you know what, bro? It's funny because I used to think you was in the band, and then everybody started laughing. And I said, and this, I was proud of myself. It was one of the few times I was proud. I was like, you know what? I am in the band, and it just got real quiet. You know what I'm saying? I lost a couple friends that day. I lost a couple points.
Oh, what do you play in the band?
I play sax. I still got the sax. I got an alto
We can start a
sax.
band.
Yeah, let's do it, bro.
Let's start a
Hey.
band.
So you played sax,
Tom and Dan band?
and then what did you
Yeah.
play on the
Ska
team?
band.
I was a defensive end, and I was also a kicker, which is more believable.
No, you're a big
Nah,
dude.
I used to
believe
be
the
a lot bigger.
defensive
yeah. But
you're a big
my
dude.
thing is like I had my band friends, I had my NFL, my football friends, and my jock friends, so to speak. But when I went home, like I had my comic books as my real friend because there's no judgment. I had Spiderman to watch. I had Adult Swim. I had these things, and it was very difficult for me to give anybody else that part of me. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just now kind of coming into this space now as an older man. You know what I mean? Like I did the rap thing, I did the Wu-Tang thing. I still do comedy, and I'm trying to like get more nerdy in my comedy, which is difficult because most people ain't that way. So I'm trying to do a lot more
Yeah.
time.
Interesting, man. What a cool
But
story.
that's what it is.
But you know what's interesting?
That's cool.
There's a lot of athletes that are super into
Yes.
quote unquote nerd
And
culture.
they hide it, like it's because
Yeah.
you know it's that's why I
No,
hate the
that's
term
the
guilty
part.
pleasure.
Yeah.
it's
Right.
open now.
EJ
no,
did it too.
dude.
you know?
It's in the
not so much an athlete, but
the NFL and stuff like they are into video games.
Yeah.
Like because these guys are 22 years old.
they're
You know?
Yes, exactly.
It's
They collect Pokemon and
yeah,
all that. Yeah, man.
And now it's cool because, like, Jake Paul's got a $10 million Pokemon
Pokemon
card
card.
around his neck. He's rich, and he's like, "Look, I'm rich. Screw you."
Yeah.
They're the cool people.
Yeah.
Like, it's not
Yeah.
the 1980s anymore where there's jocks and nerds. It's like it's all nerd culture and it's popular culture.
Well, one of the reasons that's happening, Tom, in my opinion, is because it made the crossover from the books to the big screen. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
It was before that you had to read about Spider-Man becoming, Miles Morales. Now you see it happen in the big screen, and it's getting millions of dollars. One of the biggest booms, in my opinion, to get a little too analytical, was when Black Panther hit $1 billion. That was a milestone. That said, not only can you have a comic book character gross $1 billion in the movie, but it can be with a black character
and it
an
can be a
all-black
damn fine
cast.
movie too.
And
Like
it-
I don't watch a lot of Marvel movies, not for any reason. It's just not my thing. And but I am a nerd. I love comics.
Right. I'm
Love
with you, I'm with
comics.
you, I'm with you.
But I did watch Black Panther because so many people told me it was great.
It is good.
And it was really good. And that one's a tricky one because I think you only get maybe one shot. You see what I'm saying? Like I think you had
Yes.
you had a point in time and an actor and a cast, and you had to
Yeah.
get it right. It was almost like I hate to say it, but it's like everybody's depending on you. We got to execute
Yeah.
this correctly,
Yeah.
or we're gonna put ourselves back a
Yo.
bunch of years.
Case in point, and I'm sorry if I go into time.
Yeah, you're
but
good.
before that, who do we have? Meteor Man. blank man.
Oh my God, I forgot about Meteor
these
Man.
are the characters.
It's a joke.
Exactly, they're spoofs. They're not real.
Yeah.
You can't even take them seriously.
BS. Like what little black
I love
kid
Meteor Man, though.
Once I did
Meteor Man too, and Blank Man too. Don't sleep on Blank Man.
Blank Man's great. That's no.
I
That
don't
would
think
be.
I know
You
that
know what?
one.
We're gonna have to all watch Blank Man again.
Yes, homework,
So
mandatory.
I gotta watch Last Breath
and the kids
Blank Man.
too, Tommy.
Yeah, but I will say, like, think about that. Like, what little kid? Like, what are your choices? A little black kid, and you have a Meteor Man. I'm like, I don't need a damn Meteor Man.
Yeah.
Well,
so,
then you can be Black Superman. Well, I don't see one of those.
There's one called Valzad. That's a whole other subject. But the thing is, when this is the first time I go to cons, I go to MegaCon, which is right here in town every year. Next year it's in February. We actually rent out the whole, like a whole booth and everything. Nice. And for the first time after Black Panther dropped, like you got to remember, like us as black people. Don't get me wrong. I ain't trying to make this into. I ain't trying to be on a go on a.
It's just your perspective.
Yeah, I ain't trying to. I know. Hey, listen. I ain't trying to woke you, all right? But as black people, we had to choose who we were going to portray when we went out for Halloween, when we did go to cons. It wasn't a whole lot of characters. We had like Storm, Nick Fury after a while. And so to increase the number of folks that we had the opportunity to cosplay was dope. But when after Black Panther dropped, bro, I was going to MegaCon, and it messed my head up because I'm seeing little kids about Tommy's kids' age dressed up as T'Challa, like little white dudes dressed up as T'Challa. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, yes,
but that's
the
what
full
you want.
circle.
Yeah, you wanted to come around.
Hey, when I'm dressing my white son, I'm like, should I paint him? They're kids.
But that's how it is. And so you don't have to be the color.
You can't be authentic, but you're gonna look great.
So Vince, real quick before we run out of time,
plugs out because we are
new Blerd order is Vince's podcast.
Go
and
subscribe.
Plug all your social media.
Yeah. Well, the new Blerd order. That's NEWBLERD. For those who's trying to spell it like blurred lines, but it's the Blerd order and the Blerd. It's on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and all of that. Myself, I'm at the real Vince Taylor, and I'm putting up old clips of when Tommy was actually lacing shoes, like way back in the day. I still got, I was the first. I had the first iPhone in 1998. Nah, just kidding. But yeah, that's where I can be found. And this weekend, if you happen to be around, if you're in the Orlando area, I'll be at the Orlando Improv with Wordwood Jr. Doing some spots with my. We both went to Florida A&M. We were there at about the same time.
Roy makes me laugh about Flamin' Hot Cheetos.
That's my boy.
He is funny.
That is my boy. Same number. That's my dog. So we'll be there as well this weekend. And yeah, just pull up and say, yo, I know you're from Tom Dan. You know what I'm saying? Y'all, that's my man.
All right, we appreciate
Vince,
it, man.
we'd love to have you back in.
Of course.
Talk all this stuff again.
That's a Blank Man.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
I'm coming dressed as Break Man this time.
And if the fat white guy's listening, Vince took your job.
Sorry, dude.
He's
Sorry,
right there.
dude. Sorry, bro.
Yeah, he knew.
I still love you.
We will see you tomorrow.
All right, that's it. Are we gonna do more after this? Probably one
we got
more,
that.
right?
Well, we have the interview with
that's right.
Owen.
Yeah, but we'll do that off of Twitch. I
Okay.
think.
Oh, okay. All right.